What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. It's been a while. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to talk to you guys about retirement and some things related to retirement that a lot of Americans don't consider. Um, Now, of course, we can talk about some of the fastest ways to reach retirement. Obviously maximizing your income, reducing your expenses, picking up side hustles, um, maximizing 401k investment accounts, maximizing your IRAs. Now, of course, if your income is above a certain amount, then, and this is not financial advice at all, but if your income is above a certain amount, I forget what the income limitations are for 2024, but there are limitations to how much money you can earn and still be able to participate in uh, certain investment retirement accounts because um, they're tax deferred accounts in many cases. They're tax benefited, and so there's an income cap. But anyway, what a lot of people don't consider is what are they going to do once they do retire. And I think that this is a question that um, doesn't get talked about enough. And I think it's a legitimate question because most people spend a good 2/3 of their lives working. Yeah, 2/3, 50%, somewhere between half and 2/3 of their lives working. But what happens once you do retire? I mean, for the most part, people think about what it will be like. People to retire, they will think about how much free time they'll have. But what about the psychological impact of actually retiring, saying goodbye to the 9 to 5 job, saying goodbye to the daily grind of sitting in traffic? Like, I don't think anybody's going to miss the sitting in traffic part. But when you wake up in the morning and you don't have to go to the job that you've been going to for the last 30 years or however many years you've been working. And I just think that this is something that should be well thought out, because once that day actually comes when you can retire and say, hey, I'm done. I'm no longer needing to work. I have enough investments working for me, generating passive income. I don't have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning anymore to take a cold shower, jam some coffee down my throat so I can keep my eyelids open long enough to sit in traffic and get to the job that I don't necessarily love. Now, if you happen to be one of those people who actually love your job, then you're in an amazing place. And the reason why is because you're probably going to have to work there for a long time to be able to afford to retire. But just the psychological impact of not having to go to work anymore, it's just kind of, I think it's something that needs to be thought about, because when you're used to doing something for so long and then it's suddenly missing, you may wonder, wow, I'm now at the point where I thought I would be, or I'm now at a point where I had wanted to be for so long. Is this really what I want? And I actually spoke with someone the other day who, believe it or not, works in Walmart. And, it was just a friendly guy who I would see all the time. I actually had a very similar conversation with somebody in Home Depot the other day as well. Both of these were older gentlemen, and they were both retired. And we just kind of sparked up a conversation. I was waiting on my girl to, finish checking out in Walmart. And he was like, what? I see you here all the time. Do you work out? And I was like, yeah, I work out a little bit, a little something. And he was asking me what gym I go to or whatever, and just basic conversation. But lo and behold, I asked him, I was like, what's it like working at Walmart? Do you see anything crazy here? Anybody trying to steal stuff? Like, what's the wildest thing? But anyway, but we ended up getting to the conversation about retirement. And he told me that when he retired, he was not prepared to have like almost no responsibilities. And it was really weird for him. So for like the first week or two, he had he had like anxiety. He felt like he was feeling like something bad was going to happen because he was so used to going to work. But he couldn't really accept the fact that he had built up enough net worth. He had enough investments in, mutual funds and index funds, and, all his retirement accounts were fully funded. He's got Social Security coming in. He's got all the money he needs, but yet he didn't feel comfortable. And it was just like it was like a phantom fear that he had that he really couldn't explain. But it took him about a couple of months of being retired to kind of get over that. And I don't know if anybody watching this video is retired and encountering this, or maybe this is something that could be an eye-opener for you if you're aiming to retire early, and you're doing all the right things. Think about, what will you do once you are retired? Because I would hate for anyone to be in this same situation where it's like, man, you work your whole life to get to a point of retirement, and then you get there and then you're just kind of like not even comfortable when you get there. So anyway, so he ended up saying to me, by the way, I'm eating breakfast right now, egg whites with Chipotle style white rice under it and a little bit of Mexican cheese melted. Oh my God. It is an amazing breakfast. Anyway, he doesn't need the money, but he said he needed something to do. Now, granted, he said, I can do things around the house and whatnot. He can go golfing, he can go, fishing, but he said he needed to feel like he had some responsibilities. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. Like, I would think that if your goal is to retire early, you want to get free so that you wouldn't have responsibilities, so that you have the freedom and flexibility to do whatever you wanted. But apparently for him, what he thought he wanted wasn't exactly what he wanted. And I guess this kind of goes in alignment with what someone else had told me. I had a good friend, well, not really a good friend. I had a guy who I knew, and he was a digital nomad. He was an e-commerce digital nomad. Basically, I don't think he didn't own a house yet. He could have bought a house, but he didn't own a house. He rented because he didn't know where to settle down. He was selling products on Amazon, and he was destroying it. He was making a killing selling products on Amazon, and he ended up selling courses teaching other people how to sell products on Amazon. And I was one of the people who bought the course. It was like $1,000 for the course. And that was probably the first course that I ever bought that cost over $1,000 for education that was outside of like college or something like that. So that was a first for me. But anyway, it was a very good course. I learned a lot. But he was telling me that most people, they want to live this laptop lifestyle, live on the beach, or spend so much time on the beach. People think that they would just, if they could afford to do it, they would live on the beach or just be on the beach all day long, stay at the pool, and just hang out and do leisure things all of the time. But he told me this, and I didn't believe him. He told me that even that gets old, even that gets boring. I definitely say to each their own. I told him, try me. I would love to have the opportunity to just stay on the beach all day, every day, and get to a point where that's boring. I could imagine that it would get boring at some point in time, because honestly, seeing the water coming in and out, so many times, how long do you want to do that day after day after day in like 90 plus degree temperatures? It's a beautiful setting, but I think no matter what, everything could get old. Anything can get old, no matter how amazing or beautiful it is. But Anyway, I just wanted to kind of like share this with you guys because I feel like if you're planning to retire early, if you're looking to retire early, have a game plan. Have a game plan. Ideally, I mean, for me, I'd have to have a business. I'd have to have something that I was responsible for because I wouldn't want to lose my sense of purpose. So, um, anyway, I hope this message finds you well. If you enjoyed it, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and check out my previous videos. I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care.